Hi guys, it's me Karen, and I was asked to do a video on my coloring supplies. So it's a little bit different today. So I'm going to start off the video with the pencils that I use. And I'm going to start with the big sets first, the large sets that I have. So first off, we're going to go with the Polychromos colored pencils, and these I just got not too long ago, so I haven't used them too much, but I have in the last, I think, 4 videos used them on some shading with the distress inks I use. So I mean, everybody's seen the set, so I keep this in a tin because these handles, I'm sorry, I had to open it again. These handles are awesome, and the bottom of each one of these trays is lined with like a plastic foam, so they set in nicely and they don't damage any other pencils. I prefer to keep everything in a case, but this one sits really nicely on my desk. And I have a L-shaped desk, and I just keep it on the side, on the opposite side here. Okay, next set is my Sargent Art set I have here, and I love these pencils. I think they are really nice to use. They're not quite as hard as the Polychromos, but not as soft as the next set I'm going to show you. But I do tend to gravitate towards these a lot. While I'm here in this case, I also keep my dual metallic pens from, I think they're Pastel. Double check. Can't find any name on this one, sorry. Anyway, they're the dual metallics. They're the hybrid ones. So they have, like this one, will go from a blue to a green or a green to a blue, depending on which color choice you pick. And I keep those in this set. 1, because they fit, and 2, I kind of use these 2 together. Really like these pencils. They lay down really nicely and they're not as hard. But my favorite is this set. Okay, I have 2 actually of these. You can tell when I first started coloring, these are the set I had. So we have little tiny pencils in this one. This is a smaller set that I first purchased, and some of them are actually missing, and some of them have been replaced a few times. They've gotten quite tiny. And then, of course, there's pencil extenders that you just unscrew here and pop your little pencil in, and I'll show you how small this one is. Bing. And I've replaced this particular color, which is canary yellow, about 4 times. But I still have a little guy. Pencil extender, really important piece of equipment. Anyway, so I have this set of Prismacolor, and then I went, and when they were on sale, and I bought myself the 150 set. So this one has all the colors, all the neons, and I haven't really even used them except for swatching. So they're all nicely lined up in here. I put a little piece of bubble wrap in between these 2 layers because these 2 kind of hit each other, and I prefer they didn't do that. So we have the 150 in this case. This case, I believe, holds more than that, 170 or something. So I have extra space here if I want to buy extra pencils in this particular case. It's a nice one. Then we have my Graphitints. I just got these, and I did a mandala with these. I'll try to, if I remember, to put links down in the description box to the videos that have certain pens and pencils. I'm really crossing my fingers I'll remember how to do that. So I bought these. They are a beautiful muted set. You do have to swatch these because just because these colors here are not really the colors that they are. I swatch everything in this book here. I have them all listed. I have to find that one. It's the last one, I think. Okay, here we go. So these are the colors that they come in. And I love those colors. So I got those to go along with my Inktense set. And I absolutely love these also. If I had to pick out pencils, it would probably be the pencils is my favorite, is what I'm trying to say. Prismacolor first, then the Inktense, then the Polychromos and the Sargent Arts, although those run neck and neck on my end. So this is the largest set these come in. I don't know what it is. Anyway, those pencils, I'll get them out of the way. I guess I'll put them up here. I do have a 15 set of Neo colors. I've used 3 times, I believe. I did it in the Find Color book. I can't even open this thing. On the Angel page I did. And you can tell I don't use them. I used the white. I just haven't gotten into these things. But I have them. And I use the white occasionally. Okay, glitter pens. Besides the hybrids, I have the Posca set and the Wink of Stella set. Both really nice glitter pens. Love these. They have more glitter. They're really pretty. Okay, then I also have pen pastels. I have the set in blues and greens and the set in skin colors. Okay, and I use them primarily for skin backgrounds. And these are the tools that I have that come with them. You can tell they're not all that used. I don't use these a lot. I thought I would use them more. I love using the colors on the face when you're doing a big portrait. I don't like that I have to spray them with a fixative. I've got asthma, and it is a kind of a hard thing for me to go down. I have to go to the garage, and I have to spray it, and I have to wear a mask, and you know, when you get into it gets a little hard to use a product, you tend not to use it as much. Okay, the next thing we have are watercolors. Now I have a set of these, and then the Fine Tech ones, which are the pretty metallic ones. They have really pretty names too. They're kind of transparent, so they're great for like fairy wings or adding a glitter base to something. These are more opaque. You can get them opaque if you put a lot of water on there and let it sit. I'm not that patient. I love these though. They're really pretty. I bought myself a set of Holbein Artist watercolors that I put in a case here, and I've used these in a couple of projects. I have a small set of Winsor Newton watercolors. That's the cotton set, first set I had, till I don't use them terribly much. Not that they're not good, I don't watercolor that often, but I wanted watercolor for the Find Color book because it takes water really well. I was gifted this beautiful set, and these are the beautiful colors, and look how nice and transparent those are. I could probably you can get these on they're pretty excellent. You can get them on Amazon, and they are an inexpensive set, comes with a water brush, and they're gorgeous colors, and they lay down really nice. And you can mix these to get any other color you want, but You've got a nice range here. I would recommend this set. It's a really nice one. And I have to use it more. I haven't had time. Of course, you know me as the person who uses distress ink a lot in her work. I've got lots of these. Okay. I did scrapbooking, or I wouldn't call it that. I made and altered items, I'll put it that way. So I would take like a box and put scrapbooking paper on it, and then lace and buttons and bobbles, and I would ink it and distress it and make it look vintage. I'm just throwing these out here to show you how much of this I have. Anyway, I bought these like 6 years ago. And it grew. They multiplied. I'm just going to say they did it on their own. I didn't have nothing to do with it. Anyway, I love distress ink. You know, they have different tools to use. They've got these square ones with handles. They got the round ones with handles. They have little sticks with little bobbles on them. And now I just kind of stuck with what I had originally, and I bought these and these together. Found these, thought they were cool. They're okay, but I'm pretty sure you could find something similar that you can use, that you don't waste your money on these. I'm going to put it that way. I use them because I have them, and I'm frugal that way. If I have it, I'm going to use it. They come with these little things you stick on those tools. I have a video on all the colors I have and how I used them. I'll link that down below. So we have a ton of these. I love them. I use them for backgrounds. I've actually colored just pictures with just the ink. So if you look at my channel, you'll find a whole bunch of titles with distress ink. They come in big cubes and little cubes. Okay. I'm looking around my desk and seeing if there's any other coloring things I use. So coloring things that go with my pencils and watercolors are this pile of stuff. Okay. When I'm coloring, I use it's a makeup brush, real fluffy, and it takes off all the crumbs or eraser parts that are on the paper, and I just brush them off with that. It's a e.l.f. I think it's a powder brush. Anyway, it's nice, it's big, it's fun. Erasers. I have 4 erasers. Go away, little pencil. So these are what I use. I have a it's a sandpaper type eraser, so if you really made a mistake, it'll rip up your paper too, so you got to be careful with that, but it'll get rid of any marks. I have a little piece of candy, and in here is my favorite eraser, that it's a real soft, spongy kind of eraser, and it'll take up just like a first layer of the Prismacolors or any of the other colored paper. So if you want it a little lighter where you had it, you can just use this and it'll erase a bit of it off, not all of it. Same with this one. It's really good for just erasing pencil marks or any of the light parts you want to erase, and it's a Pentel retractable eraser. It comes with these great big erasers in them. Sometimes I lose that on my desk and can't find it, so little candy I find all the time. This is my battery operated eraser. That's the name of it. It's got a little button here, and the eraser buzzes around. It'll take off a lot of boo-boo marks. It also erased some of the distress ink if you wanted to add some extra distressing into it. It's fun to use it that way. It comes with the little pop-out piece here, and you get a bunch of these little erasers that just clamp right in there, and then it slides back in, ready for more use. Okay, these things are kind of an odd thing, but they are they're for actually bending paper. Okay, so it comes with a pad, and you would cut out, say, a flower piece or something. I'm going to take a little piece of paper here. So it's a flat piece of paper, and you would take the ball and indent it here and roll it around, and then your paper gets this curve to it. So if you were doing a flower petal, it would turn out really nice if you kept rolling it. And I found that the ends, if you dip them in acrylic paint, can make really pretty dots. And they come in 2 different sizes for each one, and I think the set came with 4 or 5. These are my favorite sizes. So I just dip it in and then put the paint down. I did that on a page also. Those are fun to use. Signo gel pen. I like this. And the Posca white. These are my 2 for adding white to any page. In the erasers, there are also these. Should have put them a little closer. They're the mono 0 erasers, and look how tiny that one is. Getting into tiny, tiny, tiny spots. And this one is flat. And there's also a neat little tool that you can use, and it's a little piece of metal, and these fit right in there. If you have something that you need to erase that's just this small, you can set it up next to your paint or inking or coloring and just erase in that area. Those are really nice. Okay, we have my blender pencil. I use this one. I don't use the Prisma one. I don't use any of the other ones I have. The Caran d'Ache, it's like a wax type blender pencil. I did sharpen this end, and I use that occasionally to blend out pieces that I can't blend out really well myself. The other big thing I use is this little stamp. They giggle at me, but I like this stamp. It adds little tiny dots, and with my distress ink I will add it to make the rocks look a little speckled, or the ground to look a little speckled, or if my inking didn't turn out perfect, add some of these and it looks really nice. So I use that also. Stickles. I use Stickles. This is a glitter glue. It comes in an array of different colors. You can get them in clears. These are just clear glitters, so they come in. A crystal has more green and blue. The diamond has more of the golds and reds, I would say. I've got silver, I've got gold. I have a whole bag of these in lavenders and pinks and purples. I like the clear ones the best. So I use those. I use Folk Art acrylic matte white paint a lot to do splattering effects on my pages. So I love this. I also like the black. To do black background, I just paint it on. My water brush is a Pentel water brush. I use it for the watercolors and the acrylic paints. On top of that, we have I only own one of these, and this is a silver black velvet watercolor pen. It's a number 4, and I use that for watercoloring. I have these detail, and there's the name. You can look them up using that name, or get into detail brushes, but do you see how tiny that is? I've got a set of these to use. Get into the tiny spots. I have the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens in multiple sizes, and I use these in my coloring books all the time to touch up edges, to add lines back in that I've colored over, or to help darken the eyes in any of the pictures. And I'm going to say that's about it that I use for coloring on a more or less weekly basis. I do have some things that I just take out once a year. I don't think you need to see those yet. Well, I almost forgot. One of the other tools that I use are pencil sharpeners. So I have two. This is the, let's go this way, Stadler Graphite pencil sharpener. You can take the blades out, replace those. It's just a screwdriver. It has a small and a big, depending on your pencil you're using. I used this faithfully for a very long time, but twisting both my wrists, not a good idea for me. So what I ended up doing was getting a desktop one, and this is the one I use, and this is the Dull 133 pencil sharpener. And you put this out, put your pencil in, and then it guides it in, does all the nice sharpening for you. A real wrist saver. Okay, so I hope that answered my subscribers' questions on what I use in my coloring. And if you have any questions on any of the items, or if you want to see a swatching of them, a small swatching, not 120 pens. I don't know if I want to sit down and do 120 pens, but I will do small one. I'll link below the Distress Ink video so you can watch that, and I will try to remember if I have videos for the other products, and I'll link a video down below on those too. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.